Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and a man with far too much free time on his hands. This is not a test. This is a random review.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel, and before we get started here, just a quick little note. So, if you go and check the description of this video, you're going to find a link to my eBay page because I am starting to list some things on eBay. I'm sorting through Transformers to sell now, but for the moment, I have begun with some high dollar rarities, which is sealed in-box Primal Rage toys, the original 7 from the first run, all complete, all steel in box, as well as a very in-demand Danhausen figure from AEW, because he's super hot right now and won't get a toy from Mattel for a year. So those are up right now. There's more to come, so just keep an eye out. I'll let you guys know when there's like full Transformers and things up, but for now, yeah, we're just starting off with some big boys. But let us now get into today's topic. So, I did manage to find the new wave of deluxe Transformers. Of all the new stuff that's dropping right now, this is the only thing I could find. So let's talk about the figure I was looking forward to the most out of the entire wave, which is the brand new Powerglide. We have not had a Powerglide since Combiner Wars, and that was the I guess what we're going to call modern Legends scale, the things that are more equivalent to what Core Class became. Yeah, it's been a hot minute, and as one of my favorite of the mini-bots, I was really looking forward to getting my hands on a brand new one. Let's actually see how it came out. So, what we have here is a decent approximation of a Warthog, the actual jet that it is based on. And yeah, it's done up in a very nice shade of red. It's a deep brick shade, which is actually really, really nice to see. And it's done up pretty well. It's done up pretty well here. So, I'm going to go and just talk about the elephants in the room first. Yeah, the big hinges where the wings meet the body of the jet. That's a little bit obvious. But I don't think you're going to avoid that on a Powerglide. He has to have big hinges there. More concerning for me is the arms underneath the wings. And the way they've designed them means he basically has twice the underkibble on the wings than he did in his original incarnation. And I can show you, because here is the original incarnation. Now, form-wise, they got it pretty close. Like, that's actually a pretty good approximation of the original vehicle mode. There is a bit of an issue here, you might notice if you enjoy your aeronautics. I'll bring it up here in a minute. But for the most part, the only thing that's like bugging me in this comparison is the fact that they've brought this piece, the forearms, farther toward the body, which means it doesn't sit the way it did on the original toy. It's a minor gripe, but it's one worth pointing out. I'm more annoyed that there's so much hanging under the wings, but now, I guess full solid arms have to be under there with universal shoulders and everything, so sacrifices will be made. For the same reason, we have this big chunk that's sticking out from the side that'll be his chest in robot mode. Now, I genuinely feel like this could have been cleaned up in a similar trick to, say, Studio Series 86 Slug, and how his torso could collapse in when it went into beast mode. This one, you could have done something a little bit similar, but I'll show you why they didn't. But for now, we focus on the jet itself. You have the Autobot symbols painted in on the wings. You've got silver done up for the windshield. You have silver there at the edge of the turbines. And this is where the aeronautic people in the comment section, hey, I don't know, you could be chatting right now. This is where the people watching this video who know their aeronautics are going nuts. So, you notice anything different here? His turbines, his engines, are actually above the line of the wing and the tail fin. And that's important because you need the airflow to create the thrust that flies the plane. Here, it's in line with the wing, meaning you're not getting air going in, and it's in front of the tail fins, meaning all of that thrust is going straight into a very vital part of the jet. Should I keep saying jet? Does this count as a plane? I don't know anymore. Either way, the plane is not really going to work like this. And really, I'm going to tell you right now, like, there should be, like, hinges here that really should just lift those sections up to have it at the proper angle. There's nothing going on engineering-wise in that section of the toy, meaning, yes, there was room to do it. It's just, it's a weird little nitpick, but, like, if you know your planes, it's going to be weird looking. And if I point it out to you, and you're never going to be able to unsee it, it's also going to be weird looking. I'm going to go ahead and take his gun off. We'll set it aside for now so you can clearly see what is probably the best little detail they threw in, a fake painted on rub sign. That's actually kind of cool that they threw that one in, because it is extremely prominent on his original vehicle mode. So I do enjoy that. So, yeah, I mean, it's a decent representation of the jet, plane, whatever. And overall, yeah, it's fine. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Do you want landing gear? Well, we don't have landing gear. We have little nubs on his forearms. And those will connect to the bottom along with these tail fins, and that is going to be how he keeps from scraping up his underside if a kid should happen to get a hold of this and start scooting it across a table. But either way, regardless, that's your vehicle mode in a nutshell. I take some issues with it. It is a little bit annoying, but I admit I'm being a little bit pedantic. I'm picking on a little bit. Let's get him into robot mode and actually see like what else we got going on here. So I'm going to break off the wings like this by rotating them down and then push the rear section down to separate out the legs from this back piece, which I'm going to double hinge up and get it out of the way. Not going to close it completely just yet. So with that done, I'm going to rotate the wings all the way to the front here. And we're going to bring all of this together. Like so. There we go. We'll do the reveal of the face later. I feel like face and head reveals always come at the end of a transformation, right? Okay. Opening up the legs here to get these transformed. Tail fins are going to fold down like that. You're going to rotate them around. Now, they could work on their own, or you might just have to hold up that flap, but either way, those need to be folded up so that you can form the feet. Now come these engines. Now, this getting into vehicle mode is really, really annoying because one hinge is pinned, the other one is not. That's a friction hinge, but this hinge is really, really tight. So if you just try to like wiggle it up like you normally would a double hinge, you're going to pull it off. Always make sure you are pushing like into the hinge, which is to say push it that way while you are trying to wiggle it into this position. That's the only way I've found it able to get it transformed without just ripping the whole thing off. But here, double hinging it down is a lot easier. Okay, with that out of the way, I'm going to pop the arms off of the wings. Go ahead and give them a big rotation and fold the elbows. Then flip out the hands like that. Try to get a little bit of that thumbnail on the fingers to leverage it. Now, for the face, part of the vehicle mode, which is very easy to push back in, is this. You can very easily knock it back in. But if you knock it back in, then the face rotate locks into place. So make sure that is up, and then you can rotate the face around like so. There we go. And once it is even, once it's actually like parallel like you like it, go ahead and pop that back in. Now it's going to be locked into place, and that is going to be Powerglide in the robot mode. So the transformation's fine. Aside from the double hinges thing going into the vehicle mode, everything else seems to do pretty well. It's not a bad transformation. Maybe a little bit plain. You know, like I said, there's a few spots where you could absolutely improve it, but transformation's okay. It's everything after the transformation you're going to notice because, yeah, for a deluxe figure, even for a mini bot, this guy does feel small, which is a little bit frustrating. If I bring in like a standard deluxe here, you can see he is quite a bit shorter, but that is like what's supposed to be like air quote normal size Transformer. If I bring in another mini bot, you know, one from the exact same wave, he is still a little bit shorter. And the thing you're not seeing here is bulk. Whereas, yeah, Powerglide is an exceptionally clean Transformer. There's really nothing left over to act as kibble anywhere in the robot mode. It does kind of highlight the fact that this toy is very small and very svelte. Like, there's not a lot of, like, bulk going on to it. So it can be hard to figure out where exactly your $28 went. And yeah, that deluxe price is still disgusting to say, isn't it? So yeah, he is very, very small for his price point, and I'm really, like, screaming at Hasbro, we need, like, a smaller price point in Generations. This is ridiculous. Okay, but let's focus on the figure itself. Cost, after all, is subjective. If it looks like it's worth $28 to you, then that is your decision. Head sculpt looks pretty good. The overall form on the robot mode does look pretty good. Like, the sacrifices in the plain mode absolutely go into making this guy look as good as he can in robot mode, so I'm going to give him credit to that. One of my fears from the early photos of this guy is true. I do think the gray is just a little bit too dark. I'm used to, like, an off-white, like a pale gray being his gray shade. This is just a little bit too dark for me. Though I will admit, the dark plastic does let them create a really nice, like a really nice variation between that and the silver also used for his face. As well as a little crest above his head. So, yeah, there's bonuses to it. He doesn't have a whole lot of paint going on. Like, obviously, these parts are painted to match in with the vehicle mode. And he's got one of his stickers from the OG toy there on his midsection. But that's pretty much it. I mean, he goes very barren, and that is, again, this kind of a mini-bot thing. Like, there's not a whole lot of paint to a mini-bot, generally. So, it's not like I expected a lot, but I think once you, like, realize the size of the figure, you naturally start trying to figure out where the cost went, and that gets a little bit tricky on him, because I'm not sure it went anywhere. I think he's small for the sake of being small. I think it has to do with the fact that, you know, he had to be depicted very small in his one big episode, meaning they probably kept that into account. Speaking of that episode, here's the reason the torso doesn't collapse in vehicle mode to clean that up. You can open up the chest, and you can actually reveal the heart from the end of that episode. So, this is actually a really cool little Easter egg to throw in. We've seen hearts hidden on Powerglide toys in the past. This one is deliberately designed to look as close to the one in The Girl Who Loved Powerglide the most. And it is where the paint did end up going. So, okay, so we figured out where it is. It's not just the silver. Notice that the heart itself is dotted in pink. So, okay, fair enough. Now, if you want play value, you have some here. Obviously, you've got 5mm pegs at the ends of the wings, which actually make for really good spots for weaponry here in this mode. And the engines themselves have 5mm ports, and you have one in the back as well. And then that brings us to the articulation. The head, just make sure it is, like, unclipped from the vehicle mode. So, like, it has, like, that little clip in to hold into place. And weirdly enough, mine is very loose. Like, obviously, since it's not a ball joint, it's not going to do up and down. It's just left and right, so it doesn't really need to be tight, but it's surprisingly loose to the touch, more so than I'm used to. Universal shoulders, very, very tight there for me. Biceps, full 360 degrees, 90 degree at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. Waist joint works all around. You have the hip, that's also universal. Plenty of range there, though the wing can get in the way at certain extremes, but not too big of a deal. Don't expect that much out of Powerglide posing. Thigh rotation works. We have 90 degree bend at the knee. You have the ankle tilt. That also works, though this is a little bit hindered. Doesn't go too far, but still, you have pretty much the range you expect to have from a modern Transformer, which is good to see. Now, accessory-wise. And when a small figure comes out, you expect the accessories to make up for it. Well, it comes with one gun. And the gun itself, considering they really didn't give the mini-bots their own guns, he just kind of looks like he's holding a spare version of the little guns that come with, like, Bumblebee, or, like, the little guns that Ratchet and Ironhide had in the movie. It's not a very inspired design. Let's put it that way. It's a little derivative. But, hey, there you go. He at least gets a weapon now. He also gets what is probably the accessory everyone went nuts over. So I'm going to pull that pin again, and we'll rotate the face around to reveal that clip-in. And then we will bring in the alien mask from Hoist Goes Hollywood. So this does also clip to the top of the gun if you actually want to store it while you have him in robot mode or vehicle mode, for that matter. But you do need to rotate the face around in order to plug said accessory in. And this is another place where the paint count went, because that is entirely painted to get that mint green color, to get the eyes and the teeth. So yeah, that is actually a very fun little accessory to throw in. For those who were hoping to get ones for all of your Transformers, I'm sorry, this is not going to peg into Sunstreaker's face. It just isn't. Oh no, we can't have everything, I guess. But yeah, that's the long and short of it. Now, I don't think that, as fun as this accessory is, so much paint went into it, I don't think it makes up for the lack of size or the spots of the transformation where they really could have done a little bit more to make him more complex. But that said, it's a fun figure if you can justify the price. I'll be honest, if I didn't have a review channel that covered the cost of these things in the end, this one would be a very rough purchase for me at the price. I might wait to see if it ends up on sale or something. But that is just me. Oh, and before we go, I'm sure there's someone out there who does want to see this, so let us bring in the actual Combiner War Powerglide. I will give him to Powerglide in his cannon mode, and that I call Fire Powerglide. So for anyone who just wanted to see him wielding himself, there you go. And we'll leave the fact that he's only a little bit smaller than the new one. We'll leave that to your conclusions. But that'll do it for me. That's what you're getting out of the new Powerglide toy, for better or worse. I do think there's room for improvement, though it is just nice to have the character back in rotation, finally. So, that'll be it for me. Thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.